Good day, everyone, and welcome to Obedient Family TV. The program, now Hope Alive. Yes, Hope Day, and every day we dey come out to tell everybody, say Hope Day. We no go give up for our country, we be Nigeria. We no go run away from them. They say we be opposition. PO don't declare, say we will be the official opposition. So we go dey come out every day, they talk how we go take back our country. Now the thing we go dey do every day. So today we get plenty things where we want discuss. So wherever you dey watch us from, on a good morning, afternoon, and evening, depending on our time zone, we won't bring plenty other things. So we say the concern National Assembly, where we say today uproar day for that very place. And the uproar where they there, no be only say would they get click meetings, so we say they enter, say they won't share Christmas this thing, but would they hear say they don't begin the name minority leaders by themselves. So Akpabio by himself don't begin to bring the people who are going to become the minority leaders, sake of say the people where they don't elect before go, but told a person will be Tony Moyer of the Labour Party contact say we are not slaves. Now so intel and for their come opener. So that one they come for this hour. Then we get with the here say the same how Senate and House of Reps they want share 104 billion for Xmas gifts. That one we go scrutinize them as they take allege and come out. We go see whether that thing is true, because for Nigeria, not be everything where you think say it no be true. No be true. Some things will be say you think say no go even happen anywhere. It go happen for Nigeria. That one they come. Then we get the one where they happen for Plateau states, where we just hear say Mufang, where they just sack when they go Supreme Court now. We don't hear say now this afternoon the Plateau State Assembly, both the Speaker and the Deputy Speaker, they don't resign. Why they resign? No, they come out from there. It's just they come out today. We go soon find out, because the same Plateau State now they want turn and to become something else. As many things they happen. Then we get plenty things. The big one where they happen for Lagos State, the Grand Theft Auto, where we reverse for Rivers State. Kudos to all well-meaning Nigerians where we say everybody they shout for X for all platforms. Say how they go carry 2 billion naira take do perfume for government house for Lagos State. All the shout from Funsho Doherty, from all our people for X, as then they talk about the spending of 2 billion naira for the supply of rechargeable fans and lights. We don't get another one where we say they come out today, then don't come out, talk say, then don't review them down to 2 million naira. We go carry that one come out. Another thing is what we say we go talk, but make we not take too much time. The person what we say they follow me talk for here. Now Esther join me for studio. So Esther.
Yes, so greetings to my beloved, obedient and well-meaning Nigerians. My people, truly a country that is bankrupt, supposed to, in fact, they ought to channel their resources and channel their whole energy in funding the most critical aspects of the economy, such as the education, the health factor, unemployment, and poverty eradication, and not spending it on non-essentials. My people, I don't see as Lagos, the senators and House of Reps don't budget 104.7 billion naira just for Christmas gifts. Your guess is as good as mine. Anyway, we have lots more to discuss. Join us as we discuss.
So that very one, Nigeria, that one, them put them inside that waiting they call that supplementary budget, and no one make it. But go bring them as they take, bring and come out. Make us see who also tweet and for X and other people will be say they talk the same thing. But before we go into this very particular thing where Jackson will they talk, I want make we hear waiting happen for Lagos when we shout yesterday and day before yesterday. Waiting our efforts, all the well-meaning Nigerian effort we shout everywhere say Lagos State taxpayers' money cannot be thrown away, and people from Ladipo Market, Alaba Market, and all of it will be taxed to be paying that money. They have now reversed to say it is 2 million and not 2 billion. So kudos and thanks to every one of you who oppose this. That's why we are oppositions. Let's take a listen to them when they come talk something with their own mouth. The whole commissioners from Lagos State. Let's hear from them. We'll not go there.
The report that said the allegation that 2 billion naira was used for rechargeable funds in the office of the deputy governor. Just hold on. Yes, sir. Now that the procurement agency has now issued a statement saying it's not 2 billion, that it is 2 million naira. But investigation done by Premium Times disclosed that as at the time Mr. Doherty made his post on November 18, 2023, it was at 4:22 p.m. 4:22 p.m. on November 18. But then the PPA went back to the website, and then there was an adjustment of the figure at 7:25 p.m. So is it that the Lagos Procurement Agency has gone back to that website to doctor a number of things? Because that is what is being claimed according to this report. Maybe Funsho Doherty himself will at some point further confirm that he made his post at 4:25 p.m. and that website was doctored at 7:25 p.m. What happened in that regard? And then second, I would like to ask you, this social protection that you've been talking about, that Rufai is expecting to see the full register, who is in charge of that social protection? This 2.5 million per month that you talked about, is it the wife of the deputy governor that is in charge of social protection? We would like to know who is in charge of that social protection. And then for you, Omotosho, the governor went recently to London on a roadshow, Lagos Financial Hub. Where are we with that Lagos Financial Hub?
Okay, thank you. Thank you very much. So, in terms of the timings, I can't tell you what time Mr. Funsho Doherty put it on or didn't put it on.
No, I'm quoting a report from Premium Times.
Okay. So what I can say is that it wasn't 2 billion naira for any fund that didn't exist. But in terms of the figure, it was 2 million. So once I would say that yes, there was an error in terms of what was put on the website. And having said so, one of the things that have come out of that is, we know that checks and balances, proper checks and balances have to be put in place. So one of the things Mr. Governor has done is to ensure that, before things go out, obviously, they need to be checked and double checked. So that was an error. It wasn't 2 billion. So I think that it's clear to sort of state that categorically.
So that's why we are the opposition. When I don't hear from a judge, will be the commissioner of planning and budget and the rest of it, as in take talk. He talk say no be 2 billion. They don't review and down. Then talk say waiting they show for there some mistake there. But that's why they shout out to all obedience and well-meaning Nigerians when no say now we be opposition. Now we be the people will be say we go they post all those nonsense, the rascality as people they take column where then they do everywhere. But anyway. Thank God said and don't come. Go they scrutiny all of the things we said and they do. So coming back to studio, Esther, she say your mother they do when you've been telling me before say Alex Oti own for Imo State. Say no because of say we be obedient, we no go even talk about. But I hear say another mistake there for that one too.
Of course, make I first of all address this Lagos own. I want to thank all women Nigerians and obedient. In fact, we are really the opposition. We are really giving them this violence, fire to fire, bomber to bomber. May we not even allow them to. In fact, we've kept them on their toes for this past few months. They are really on their toes because anything they do, they know that they will surely oppose it. And in fact, with us now, they're trying to amend their ways. They're trying to meet up. They're trying to adjust. That is how a sane and civil environment a society should be. Now, coming to one of Abia states, the spokesperson has come out to say that it's not has dismissed the claim. The person came out to dismiss the claim that is not the budget for the 927 million or thereabouts for the meal, for the governor's meal. That is not the way it is. In fact, there is even a tweet that he broke down everything, the whole record. I think we have the tweet. So he broke down the whole record.
Maybe before the tweet, let's even look at what our people are saying. Like Ms. Peel said, and kindly resist the urge to tell anyone not to discuss Alex Oti because it is a distraction from Lagos. We can discuss Lagos, Abia, Benue, even Sokoto. Heck, we can scrutinize all 36 states and the FCT if we want. It is called multitasking. If you are not capable of this, watch from the sideline and don't discourage other. That is coming from Ms. Pales, our own obedient lady. Then coming to the one where we say you dey talk now from grassroots supporter, they said the Abia State government dismisses claim of spending 927 million on Governor Otis meals and welfare packages. And they went on to refute the claim of the big amount, which is almost 1 billion, where everybody say then they talk about. And all these publications come out from Sahara reporters, but they don't come out, they can't talk, say they disbursed 200 and something million on refreshments and meals, with additional 305 million dedicated to honorarium and the sitting allowance for government officials, because the revelations sparked controversies on everywhere, that many Nigerians expressed their disbelief on the report on what OT is saying. But the ECOMA, that is official from the government, yes, Abia State government, came out to say that these things are not so. So these are checks and balances that the opposition and even well-meaning Nigerians, yes, need to be doing. As we come out every day, we strategize our way forward, you understand me, yes, on how to check and balance the government, especially as PO is saying there is hunger in the land. That we should not be talking about election. Today, when they asked him that very question on the press, this thing where he was addressing the press, yes, he told them specifically, let's forget about the elections are over. Let's talk about the pertinent thing. Let's talk about either a coalition or, yes, you're kind of coming together, yes, and all of that. But anyway, let's take a listen to what a very short clip of what PO said of moving forward from here. Let's take a listen.
Which is the issue of the parties coming together. That is impossible. You're talking about coming together for election purpose. That's not what I'm talking. I'm talking about coming together for good governance and making sure that the people are well governed and well served. That's two different things. When it is for election purpose, it is self-benefiting or transactional. But if it is for good governance, we can all come together and work together. And if we look at what President Obasanjo is talking about, I don't think he's talking against saying that democracy is not what we should adopt. No, he's talking about the applicability. Democracy, as is being practiced in the Western world, does not have universal acceptability and applicability. You have to look at what suits you. For example, if you look at democracy in America, where we even copied this presidential system of government, there's so many things that we've abandoned. If you're president of America, you can't just, I've never heard in America that they bought vehicles for legislators. You can't just buy cars anyhow. I have never heard you can't buy cars for first lady anyhow. There's no, in fact in America there's no office called Office of First Lady. It exists in name. And for the purpose of accompanying the president to trips. Not just to have an office created with enormous budgets that are even beyond critical areas of development. No. You cannot entertain people. In America, if the president chooses today to entertain guests, he will pay for the food. If he chooses to have different dishes, he will pay for it. So he can decide how my wife is going to have we're going to have this type of fish from Japan. At the end of the month, he has to pay for it. So these things don't happen. You don't have renovations of different houses for the president. If the president of America goes to New York today, he stays in a hotel. I have accompanied the president to trip in the past. The hotel, is the President of America was staying in a hotel. So these are issues. So we must look at what suits us. Again, look at how we can manage our own expense and everything. So what Obasanjo is saying that we must not adopt this and even adopt it wrongly as we are doing it today. The last one was an issue of
moving towards one party.
How
can we salvage that?
That is a disaster. And it can be salvaged again by the same everybody coming together. Not just now political parties, but civil society. The people must resist that because it's dangerous. Let's not talk about the election. We have a critical problem happening now. See, this is what I'm saying. We should all come together. Even you as a journalist should look beyond the election. People are dying of hunger. And we're talking about the election. What happens in the next election? I've said this publicly. Peter Obi is not desperate to be Nigerian president and desperate to see Nigeria work.
Okay, my people, I don't hear from P.O. I think they'll say hunger now in a critical situation in Nigeria. He say he's not desperate to be the president of Nigeria, but he's desperate to see good governance. For we, the opposition party, we no mind, no send whether na APC dey there, whether na PDP dey there, whether na LUPO, no mind whether na Yoruba or Hausa. What we are after is the person that will give us good governance. What we are after is the person that will make the situation of the citizens good. Not the person that will drag us from production to consumption. No, that is not what we want.
Okay, with that very one, as we talk in this very line, we don't get news where they come out from this thing from Imo State. Say LP Athan Achonu, we hear say in there for wheelchair, maybe he no too strong. But even as he no dey too strong for wheelchair, he still followed up with the INEC. So we have breaking news that's coming out from the Labour Party supporter. They stormed INEC office over the INEC refusal to provide certified true copies of Imo State election results. That one, no matter where we know say they happen with them. So the impunity continues. How can INEC, an umpire in an election, announce a result and cannot give these people their result that they announce a certified true copy for them to go to court? But anyway, we always talk, say, this very court, where did they go? Not to spend money because already the courts, we know how it take be. But that's so that very one take be because now APC, they do their own or snatch it, grab it, run with it, and it's a very, very harmful this thing to this our democracy as we know. So there is need for Nigerians to come together to be able to rescue the situation in Nigeria. Just like PO take talk and also our own Esther take talk for here. But moving forward, we need to think deeply. Our people in National Assembly, the elected members of LP that is in the Senate and the elected members of the LP in the House of Representatives, what are they doing about reviewing the electoral law? As this INEC needs to be the people that will come and defend the election they announce and not the other way around, because they are not giving them the result of the election. And that is I don't even know how to speak this very grammar, but make una understand say our people where the National Assembly, they need to act. Make them act. You know, it's very, very important. Make them review this very particular electoral law of 2022. Make we review them. It's very, very important. So with that one, make we go back to waiting PO talk for this very thing, because other people, they explain. Then coming to Esther, I see different people for mainstream media, they don't begin to talk about the merger. Some people, they call them coalition and some other things. What do you think about this merger thing and the coalition? What do you really think? Or we should first take a listen to Constance Njoku.
Let's listen to them.
Let's take a listen to Constance Njoku on what she had to say. Then we'll come back. We'll not go there.
With Professor Jibrin Ibrahim about this merger idea, whether it's good or whether it's going to be scuppered by egos. What do you reckon?
I mean, his was a brilliant summation of the occurrences so far. Undeniably, the last 9 months has been checkered for Nigerians, and that's why we're talking about this now. I mean, people are discussing having a counterforce to the ruling party because you do not want to have a one-party state, and then in the next elections, you don't want every other person to be totally crippled, and then you're unable to mount a solid opposition to the ruling party. So it's a good discussion to be had. Whether it's a merger or a coalition, you know, it's another issue entirely. A merger is, of course, different from a coalition. A merger means that they merge into one entity, so their certificate of registration from INEC will be withdrawn and they will be given a new one. And coalition is a bit different. They still remain separate legal entities, but they discuss their terms of coming together to pursue one goal, and then they decide and then go from there.
Which would you recommend for them?
So Nigeria is an interesting political space right now.
Given what you know about the way things are politically.
I think a coalition might be easier between any of the parties existing now than a merger, and for exactly some of the reasons that we have mentioned before: massive egos, competing interests, clash of ideas about what they envision for Nigeria, incredibly ambitious politicians, you know, the top contenders going at each other or one another. So in that case, a merger is difficult. Who steps down for the other person? So for instance, we talk about Alhaji Atiku Abubakar. Many are shocked or surprised. Daniel Bwala was here last week, his former spokesman, saying that he needs to run again in 2027. By that time, he's almost 80 years old. He's not the only person in Nigeria. And then you talk about the other drawbacks within the party. Who within the Labour Party, for instance, want to do a merger with the PDP? Because one of the reasons why in the February 2023 elections, a lot of people flocked to the Labour Party was because they thought the APC and the PDP were jaded, did not have the right solutions for Nigeria, and they wanted to see a fresh face that was less tainted, so to speak. So that would be more difficult for them. A coalition, it also depends on who and who you're talking about. The NNPP, do you see that they want to work with Labour Party? I think that might be difficult. They don't even have the spread that we are looking for. Okay, you go back to the PDP, how is that going to work? Are they going to be fresh people? Are they open to new ideas, new energies, and new concepts? You know, it's all tough, but a coalition might be easier.
Yeah, but of course, even within a coalition, there's still got to be somebody that you field as your presidential candidate. So that ego thing still comes in. Get there. Who's going to fill that?
It does, but the question then is, who is the person that is more likely to carry them across the finishing line? Is it going to be the old and tired politicians, or is it, you know, somebody, new faces that people feel like they bring something different to the table? I mean, people are already fed up with the existing political parties. So of course, Labour, which is relatively new, you know, on the block. So I think it will depend strongly on who comes out. So, for instance, P2B is 62 now, so he has age on his side. Kwankwanso is about 67, I think. He has a little bit of age on his side. So new people might emerge as well, because this is a long time. I mean, this is 2023, we're talking about 2027. A lot of dynamics, things might change, and we will be definitely seeing fresh faces.
Yeah, it all sounds very interesting and also exciting, to be fair, because, I mean, it just consolidates the two-party system, doesn't it? And makes it, you know, makes them almost equal fighters in a battle.
Okay, so our own dear Constance don't talk and finish. She said a coalition might likely be possible and better, because now this time we don't need to have parties coming together for the purpose of election again, but rather what we need is parties coming together for the purpose of good governance, to salvage our economy. That is why we are their strong opposition. As a matter of fact, now we are their very strong and solid opposition. We have to put fire on their bump so that they will continue to do the right thing and salvage this falling democracy and salvage this situation that we are in right now.
Yeah, so as PO take talk for there, he say, no, be less, the issue of election has come and gone.
Of course.
We should focus on, you know, on helping to build the nation, that there is hunger in the land. You understand me?
Big
Means
one.
that people are actually hungry and things are so expensive that people don't even breathe. They say, they have said that Nigerians should breathe, but Nigerians are not breathing.
At all.
But whether it is more of coalition or a merger, let's be looking at coming together of like-minded people to tackle these people in opposition format. You understand me?
Exactly.
Not just throwing away everything or throwing Nigeria away, but actually looking at what they are doing and how they are expending the resources of the land. You understand?
Of course.
Let's even take a listen to one of other people who are explaining things that has to do with this merger thing and the coalition thing. Let's take a listen to that. We'll come back. We'll not go take.
This idea of a merger of the main opposition parties passed your political radar in recent days?
You know, the idea of merger is a very old idea in Nigerian politics. It goes back to the 1960s, where when election comes, there will be always two political coalitions. One for the party in government, a second for the opposition. But they are actually being able to merge has been extremely rare, and the APC is the product of one of those very rare situations where there was a merger of political parties to form a bigger party. The logic is right that it makes sense when you are in opposition to merge so that you'll have greater strength. But the whole problem is the question that you raised of ego, but above all, the fact that these parties themselves don't stand for anything in terms of their ideology or sets of principles. Because if they did, then you can look at that ideology and principles and work out something that will meet the expectation of all the parties aspiring to merge.
But I would have thought that would have made it easier for them to merge, because ideology would have been more of an obstacle, wouldn't it? Of all of them coming together.
It would have been if they are very different ideologically. But the issue with ideology is that if you are all in opposition, it's easier for you to agree without being very, very strict with their ideology, because you can all see clearly you are a higher goal, which is a faster route to power. But because there is no ideology in this case, what comes out very clearly is the ego and the ambition of the individuals. And what we know is that these individuals have been hopping from party to party for a long time anyway, depending on what their personal situation is and the and the ambitions they have in a particular point in time. And this is what makes it difficult, because each one is just looking at their own desires, their own ambitions, and their egos.
So merger, a good idea, but ego likely to get in the way and to scupper their plans even before it goes anywhere. Does this suggest that all the leading candidates and their parties have now got past their defeat in the 2023 election and are now looking towards the 2027 presidential election? In other words, they've rested the 2023 ballot.
I think the 2023 ballot is rested and people are looking forward. But I think it's also important to know that these may not be the only key players for the next round of elections. Peter Obi, who was a key player in this year's election, a few months before, the party wasn't really on the cards and wasn't seen as somebody that would play an important role. In 2-3 months, he emerged as a real threat in terms of beating the other candidates. And as you know very well, some of his close followers believed he actually won the elections. So there's always a possibility that new players will come up. I think the fact of the matter is that players like Atiku Abubakar, for example, he's been seeking the presidency since 1993. And a lot of Nigerians are beginning to think, well, wait a minute, don't we have other good candidates that can offer something? Especially as this particular individual or these individuals have had so many opportunities which they were unable to take, and therefore maybe the time has come for new faces to emerge. We do know it's not easy for new faces to emerge. There are stumbling blocks, including in particular.
So by preventing a one-party state in Nigeria, what is your own comment on this very coalition, the merger talks going on across board? But PO has clarified what he terms to be coming together as an opposition to the rascality that is going on in this present government. That is what PO has said. But whatever are your comments, please do make your comments on the comment section so that we can take that down. And also, please do like and share so that other obedience will know that there is hope, that we are not running away from Nigeria. We'll continue to be here to oppose them and also to make them accountable to this very mandate that I have stolen. Having said that, let's also take a look at other things that are happening. Like this one we talk about, Plateau State has been on the news again. And I mean, the Plateau State Assembly, the Speaker of House of Assembly and his deputy just resigned, and they have also sworn in a new speaker and a deputy speaker in that. Now, the news coming out from Plateau State is not so palatable, because right now nobody knows what is actually wrong, as Moses Thomas Sule, who heads that place, has issues and all of that. But we know that same Plateau State, that the sack of their governor and going to Supreme Court, moving ahead to go and reclaim his mandate is paramount, and we know what happened. And especially as explained by Daniel Boala, who was on Channels TV, kudos to them. He made very exposing insight on what he thought happened in Plateau State and what had been happening in our courts, judicial mercenarism. Let's take a listen.
I mean, which several times the court has told, especially after the amendment of the Electoral Act, the court has told those who have gone to court in other political parties, challenging winners in other in an election, saying, look, this is not your business, because it's a matter in that political party.
This Court of Appeal in presidential elections said so. Supreme Court repeated. So, you see, Mr. Sean, our electoral jurisprudence is getting to a point where it is no longer what you know. The court is still predictable, without prejudice to what you know and what is the stare decisis in respect of the matter. And the reason I say that is because at every stage of appeals, you can point at two decisions by the same court that are contradictory. Now, if it were to be Supreme Court, that's why some of us have started advocating that with respect to the Supreme Court, it's about time the Constitution of Nigeria be amended to deal with two issues that makes the Supreme Court sometimes inconsistent in judgment. Because you see, there is one dictum that the Supreme Court is not fallible because it is final. It is not final because it is infallible, but it is infallible because it is final. So if the Supreme Court commits a mistake, that mistake is the law because it's the final code. There needs to be a constitutional provision where you will not leave that latitude, and said, if the Supreme Court delivers a judgment that is A, B, and C, the court must be bound if any fact comes to that court that relates to that. Meaning that when you go to Supreme Court and you know there is a legal precedent regarding the matter, both the petitioner and the respondent, both the appellant and the respondent will know the end of the matter. The second one is that the Supreme Court is not bound by its previous decision. Meaning that tomorrow morning you and I can go to Supreme Court and argue on A, and they will decide this way. Next tomorrow, another set of people will come and argue on A. They will refer to this, and Supreme Court say, you can't bind us, and to go the other way. So Supreme Court now, as a court of policy, delivers judgment, but hardly you find justice in those judgments. You won't blame them because they're hiding within the precincts of what they call procedure or the law as they deem fit. But then you know the justice of the case is that the votes of the people never counted. Look at the decision of the Court of Appeal in Kanu. You know what the presiding judge said in the judgment? He said, where a candidate is carelessly sponsored and nominated by a political party, that selection is a nullity. It doesn't matter if he won the highest votes.
So it's on technicality that such a candidate will be uprooted out of the race.
Yes, when they say it doesn't matter how many votes you won, then that means no longer the wishes of the people. That means it's technical procedure.
But does it also speak to how politicians and political parties also conduct their own affairs? Because if the PDP had put its house in order,
right,
the man who had won this case, this governorship election with over 500,000 votes, will not be in any legal quagmire. He will be sitting pretty, you know, other than having a situation where his election is now being threatened by the technicality of what his party did and did not do at the primary level.
But in the presidential election, PDP put his house in order. Did the PDP win? So this is my point. And I'm saying that our eyes are now, you know, they hate it when you say all eyes are on the judicial.
Are you saying that, I mean, things are being, they are confusing the manner in which the court are decided?
The court is more unpredictable as the days go by. Now, let me tell you.
Based on what how the law is.
Yes.
There is the way the law is and the way the law is ought to be.
Yeah.
So sometimes the manner in which the law is right now.
They give it to you like that. Now, but sometimes in the past, Supreme Court being a court of policy, when they look at it, they will say the mistake of somebody cannot be visited on the client. That means we are not going to be bound by technicality. We look at the substance of the case. They've done that several times. Then there are times they will wake up. It's like somebody waking up in the morning. He feels good. He does something. He works or he feels somehow. He does the other way. Either way, you don't blame him because he has something to back it up. Right? So if it is justice, then it should be not just the law as it is, but looking at the intention of the lawmakers, looking at what is the overall objective of election, that the voice of the majority should bring the person. Right? Now, but the biggest culprit, the biggest evil in the 2023 election across all levels is INEC. Because have you seen the mystery of INEC? In my practice of law, let me tell you, there are times you appear in court, right? Maybe you tender a document from the bar, and in the course of proceedings, you now object to that document. The court will draw attention. They say, voila, do you know the implication of what you are saying? The document you tendered, you are objecting to it. The court is trying to tell you, are you okay? But in this 2023 election, INEC will certify a document for you. INEC will be in the court raising objection, and the court has never cautioned them. So we will get to a perfection, but this election regime has left so much to be desired. But my eyes is focused on Ebonyi. Because if the way the judgment is going, parties are saying this is -1, we score 1 goal, this one we equalize, we score, you equalize, then if you are saying that we have an own goal in Plateau State.
As we all know now, as we watch this one, we understand some certain salient things we be saying there inside here. For when we did our presidential tribunal, we hear where them talk say, if you no be person will be say you join the party, you no go fit attack the issue. That won't happen for Atiku Abubakar's case, even in the PDP's presidential this before that time. Then talk say Atiku no fit go begin the talk, waiting no consign and for APC matter. Na party, na inter-party matter. Now this one don't change matter for Plateau State, as the court for there don't change the waiting Supreme Court talk. But anyway, we don't see how we go to follow them. Make we see how we go take end, and even the $5 million where they talk say they share for them. Then talk say na bribe allegedly. We talk say we know they we know see, but na so the Jackson they talk say $5 million pass the appeal court hand where they take do this very something. Then other things will be say they come up from Jackson today again. He says senators and reps go share 104 billion, 104.7 billion as Xmas gifts. Now, so the same Jackson today where they predict things be. In talks, members of the National Assembly are to share this 104 billion as Christmas gifts approved by Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Speaker Tajuddin Abbas. They said the funds was padded up on the 2023 supplementary budget recently approved and signed, while each of the 109 senators will cash out 300 million. The 360 House of Rep members will smile home with 200 million each. So, all this one, Esther, now waiting would they see for this Christmas again. We don't come out from the one of the luxurious cars. Yeah. Then we don't begin to hear this one. And you know, say when Jackson tweet, now allegedly, you understand? And before we go know, we go begin to hear the thing. It don't become true. It don't begin the one. You understand? But in don't talking on again. Now, whether us will be say the opposition, other people, if you know what in your comment, make you comment for comment section. If you know how you want to take Twitter, make you tweet or make we begin to oppose those things as they go. Esther, she say your man they do more about the people where they side APC and this thing.
And like I talked earlier, you know, say they will come and content us say make we sacrifice, make we tighten our belt, say the economy they have, say they are working on something. But as a matter of fact, they are not working on anything at all. Just using us to using the poor masses to cash out. Now imagine sharing 100 and something billion naira just for Christmas. They go just sit and do Christmas giveaway for themselves only. Now, the poor masses, the people that they are representing, they are there to represent, don't even mind if they are surviving at all.
They will give them 5 kg rice for Christmas, 5 kg.
Since they can't tie two cubes of baggy put inside. I don't know how long that one supposed last for them. Now they will cash out with their families, they travel about. Now then
go there for line for their constituency. They go there for line, they go there handle
for it. Some will drop on the sand and they will even pack it. Now, but the thing where be say where they happen now be say all those people where they support the abados, where they shout that time, me lock on our turn. Now it don't reach their turn, they don't they share it. Some of them don't they even die self. You get one woman where her own just happened recently where she just buy. Now her happiness will be say she buy, her happiness be say now the bad government where she they advocate for couldn't save her.
Now posh mama is the talk.
Yes, posh mama at her dying moment. We had the issue of NSAS. She did there, they shout, say nobody died, nobody died. Now, when there was the train crash that happened around March, where one of the victims were shouting that they were shot by all those bandits. She just they talk anyhow. Mr. Kanu even went to one of her posts. She can't they talk say during the time you were in tribunal. She can't they talk say may P2B may this man carrying stolen manhood come up for there saying just enter court begin they sleep. You know, but at the end of the day, the people she was advocating for, the government she was crying for, could not save her.
Okay, Posh Mama was vile. That is from the TT. He said Posh Mama was vile and vicious. She mocked NSAS victims and Dr. Chinelo in her final hour. Posh Mama died a broken woman. She could no longer afford the 50K per pint of blood. Overseas medical help was beyond her reach as well. She was abandoned by the government she supported. Posh Mama's death was avoidable. The government she supported killed her. She was a Buharist. She died Agbado as well. How many hospitals did Buhari or Tinubu build? How many blood banks? She supported evil until her last breath. The evil she supported killed her. Rest in peace. Well, rest in peace, Mama. Without one, I think there's other people who are talking about who were shouting during the campaign season that even Tinubu is for 2027, 4+4. But they don't begin the reverse. Let's take a listen to that one myself. Make we see how the thing they take happen with them. How market Agbado people, how market. Let's take a listen. Celebrate with us. It is our turn. Our local. Yoruba local. And who is leading us? Bola Ahmed Tinubu is going to lead us. We will not care what people are going to say about us. We will not care. We stand in unity. We stand for our brother. We stand for our brother. We stand for our father. We stand for our friends and brothers. That stand, that live, that fight the battle, they conquer. Ẹ̀yin tẹ́ wá rò pé kò lè ṣeé ṣe tó ti wá ṣeé ṣe lójú ẹ̀mí yín kí wá ní thought yín? What is your thought? By now you should have realized that Bola Ahmed Tinubu is for you. He is the main man. Yoruba ẹ má jà láìmọ̀re. Bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣe celebrate pẹ̀lú Jonathan. Ẹ celebrate pẹ̀lú Bola Ahmed Tinubu. I am campaign. See, I'm in the market campaign to my people. I am not scared. Ilẹ̀ Yorùbá mo wà yìí. I campaign to Yoruba people. I campaign to you.
A few moments later.
To governance is adding hardship to all Nigerian citizens as at now. What is the benefit of releasing 5 billion to governors that cannot change the scenario, the challenges, the hardship we have on ground? Where are the influencers that can pay for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Where is Sam Larry? Where is Naramali? Where is Yinka TNT that released song for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? Yinka TNT, what will you tell your mother? What will you tell your father? What will you tell your children that are based in Nigeria here that you have campaigned for a president that cannot move this nation forward? What will you tell your people? I continue to ask questions at this point. What Bola Ahmed Tinubu have done to Nigerians that we can realize that there is all for us? We both campaigned for this man, but at this end, at this point, what are things that we should be expecting for Bola Ahmed Tinubu? I keep asking them, where is the policy that we should rely on? We cannot find because of their income. Bola Ahmed Tinubu, we are dying here. We are going through challenges. Enough is enough. If he cannot talk, I will talk. I can't continue. I can't continue to bear what is going to lead me to sudden death. Where I have government. All these things that we are going for mountain, we are going to different angles for prayer. Where pastors stealing from us, we are supposed to ask government. Government are they are in the position to provide all these things for us. Because God has already given us all the resources that can move this nation forward. But there's a certain group of people that are from these resources and they don't even care what happened to masses. What to you, governors? What?
Local people, how market? The complaint on never even starts because this very one on they enter 2024 as a renewed hopelessness. Now renewed shege. Now on they enter inside. As for the young man will be saying the shout when he talks say what he won't do, he won't go commit suicide. He never see anything. He never hear them. But anyway, our people, now the choice where person made, waiting you use your mouth talk, now that thing now go come upon you. The hunger will go mama this young man, we will still hear from him. And other people will be say, then talk say, then go cast their vote. When they see open this their mouth, they talk say 4+4. Now only God now go reach out to them. Then go see they say the evil that men will not be after them, not before them. The evil where you saw. Anyway, our time don't give us signal. Make we begin the waka, they come out. But before we come out, we want to appreciate all obedience and well-meaning Nigerians again. And the people for the renewed opposition where they join us. We have succeeded in Lagos by bringing that thing down to 2 million now that from 2 billion to 2 million, they called it mistake. And several other states that we are scrutinizing right now. So please let us not give up hope. We are coming together to fight them as opposition to make sure that this hunger that they want to put us in, that our people will not die in hunger. The obedient people and well-meaning Nigerians will not die in hunger. let's keep court aside. Please do like and share so that other obedience will be motivated. Thank you very much. See you again tomorrow. Goodbye.